I'm Yolanda with GLAAD. So good to see you again, Joel. And it's an honor to meet you, my queen, goddess, icon. Okay.
Yeah.
Season 2 of Loot is arriving, and we're so excited. Like, I binged it. I was screaming all night about it last night.
Oh, thank
And here at GLAAD, we aim to increase representation for LGBTQ and marginalized people. And there's a lot of it in this series. There's like people taking back their own narrative, there's chosen family, there's people realizing inner dreams. And so I know you're executive producer, Maya, and Joel, you can speak to this as well. Why do you think it's important to include those themes, and what are you excited for the audience to see this season?
I mean, I'm a big fan of representation that looks like the life that I know. I think that sometimes I've, throughout the course of my life, I've certainly seen things that I can't completely connect with or relate to, or that sometimes I'm asked to play roles where I think like, well, that's not my story, or like, I don't look, I don't represent myself that way. That's just kind of part of my story that you don't ever have to talk about. And so what's nice about that is it's just kind of part of what everybody brings to the table, and then we start from there. Everybody gets to, I don't know, feel a little bit more real in that way, I think. And I really, it's not something I ever, I think, really pen to paper set out to do, but I think it's at this point in my life something that's really important to me, and so it's just part of the DNA of it. So I'm really glad that that's connecting with people.
Yeah, and I've used this word a lot to describe the kind of representation in this show, but a lot of it feels so incidental. It's not ever, our identities really aren't centered in the show necessarily in most of the episodes. And that I think is really refreshing for me as a performer, but also as a viewer. I think it's really important that we just get to see people who look like me or are like me just living their lives and doing their job, and not necessarily like having it be about like trauma or the issues surrounding their identities. And
Yes.
because that is what is, I just live my life. I'm
Every
living
day.
day to day, and issues come up, but it is just nice to see these people like living their lives without it being, at the forefront necessarily.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, Joel, and you really are a star, Joel. Like, I mean, obviously playing beside the great icon Maya Rudolph, but like your character is so right and has so many layers. How does your character evolve this season?
Yeah, I think, in season one, Matt and Alan really did a great job of like establishing this very, prickly, walls up sort of guy, and dropped a lot of hints about how he got to be that way. And I think in season two, it was really fun to make sort of good on the promise of the premise of that character, and see all the reasons why he might not be as open as some of the other characters are, and why he feels the need to protect himself. And I think, it's just really exciting to get to add some depth to that character, because I think it's fun to see confident people like owning, and being a little mean or a little snarky, but it's even better when we get to see the other side of that coin and see why they are that way.
Yeah, I was a huge fan. Like I said, I binged it, and I was honestly in tears. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait till the dolls see what is going on on Loot season 2. Thank y'all so much for your time today. Season 2 of Loot comes out April 3rd on Apple TV.